Hello Forever Theater Kid family. Today I am so excited to give you my actor budget friendly holiday DIYs. This is a two-part series. You guys wanted it on Instagram to be two parts, so that's what it's going to be. So don't forget to subscribe and click that bell notification so you know every time I'm uploading, especially this week. For the DIYs that are going to be in this video today, we are making this beautiful wreath and also some little boho ornaments. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram so you can see all the ways I decorate my place, and I want to see how you decorate yours. So for this DIY, you're going to want a 10-inch floral hoop, some winter greens, any ribbon of your choice, hot glue, scissors, and I forgot to add it here, but it comes in later, some parchment paper. I use Pinterest for all of my inspiration. This was the particular picture that I used. I'll actually link all of my Pinterest stuff down below. But it's basically a really bohemian wreath. It's a dream catcher and a wreath combined. I just think it's super cute. So I took my first ribbon that I chose. These were both actually from Home Goods or Marshalls. They're just in the holiday wrapping section. They have so much ribbon there, and it's actually a really affordable price. So what I did for this first and longest piece, this is going to be right in the center of the hoop. I doubled it up to the desired length that I wanted, and then I looped it underneath the wreath, and then I went over and through. Just like you would do with a lot of different knots or even braids. People do this with their braids. It's the same type of action. So under, over, and through. And then I alternated the colors of the ribbons that I used. I tried to make it even on both sides, but with each different thread I used, it's going a little bit shorter each time. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. We're gonna try to make it a little bit more tapered when we're done, but I'm just kind of, I mean, you could measure it out specifically with a ruler, but we all know that I don't do this here. When I do crafts, I try to do them quick and to the point because I have very little patience. So, and I want to keep it joyful, and it's just, I mean, I'm a little bit of a hot mess. We all know that. And that's kind of how my DIYs are. But you know what? I'm pretty pleased with how this came out. Right, now I have the desired amount of ribbons on both sides. So from the outside in, I'm just cutting in a V shape down. So I'm just slowly making them longer with each end. And I'm just trying to be as precise as I can, laying them out flat, cutting them, being a little bit more precise, but the edges are pretty rough. I didn't feel like tying them off or gluing them or tapering them anymore. I like that rough look. So now it's time for the greenery. This part is totally up to you. That's what I love about these wreaths. There's no rhyme or reason. I just cut off a piece of this like little fern that has some berries on it with parchment paper underneath, because when you're gluing, you don't want that glue getting on your table. That is something that I did accidentally. So what I did is I just kind of laid things out the way I wanted them to look, and then very carefully I glued them down onto the wreath directly. Honestly, you're going to want to glue it maybe a couple times. Make sure the little pieces are glued down really well, because it will come up just because it's a bit of a funky material going on metal. But I put it all the way over the ribbons just so it would cover up loose edges, and then to cover up kind of like the gross edges of the greenery, so to make it kind of look finished, I just put another little piece of berry and I just cut off a little bit of fern. These are such a good gift for people. This is great decor. I just think it's really sweet, and it's a new twist on an old tradition. For this one, I decided to go with the same kind of feel. I decided to put down the greenery first because I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with this one. I honestly was just like, let's just go. Let's just see how this one turns out. And so what I decided to do is I took the ribbon that I used that has like the gold and the cream. I just glued it down piece by piece and wrapped it around. I think it looked really, really cool. And I just kept wrapping it. I just kind of was going for it. And then as soon as I felt like I was almost at the center mark, I'm a little off center, not gonna lie, I made a bit of a loop. So what I did is it's just like I glued, I created a loop, and then cut the edge, and then wrapped that final edge around a couple of times until it felt secure. And there we go. That's our first DIY. Super cute, super affordable. I got everything from either Home Goods or Michael's, and there's always discounts at Michael's, so make sure you go with a coupon, and Home Goods, you can never go wrong. Next, we are creating these DIY Bohemian ornaments, and I cannot wait. For this DIY, you're gonna need 3 or as many as you want mini wooden embroidery hoops. I believe these are the 3-inch ones. Some fabric you don't mind cutting up, ribbon or twine or rope of your choice, and some hot glue. first we're gonna prep everything. First I created a crop top out of that shirt that I actually got from the thrift store. I took off the stickers off the embroidery hoops, which took forever, by the way. And I started to cut the fabric into small pieces. So what I did is I measured to see where the embroidery hoop would fit in these small squares. I wanted to be as smart as possible with creating waste in the fabric. So I created these small squares, I put some hot glue around them, and then I glued them right on top of the fabric. So I did that with 2 hoops at once just so I could get as many done in the same time, because again, timing, don't like spending too much time on crafts. So then after that, I just started cutting around the hoop. I tried to get as close as possible to the hoop itself. It did cause some of the glue to come off and some of the fabric to come off, so I just went back and glued that on a little bit. It wasn't that big of a deal. And then I was able to straighten it out. So after that's done, I glue the other side, and then I put that back onto another piece of fabric. I did the same process with that other piece. In the background is the rejected hoop that I need to fix, that I will fix later in this video, but you will see it as a finished product. So for the pieces that are big enough, I'm keeping them as rags, so I will use them when I'm cleaning. But other than that, that's for the most part it. So when you're done gluing, put the rest of the embroidery hoop on, screw the little top into it, and now we're just going to put the string on. So take that ribbon, whatever one that you have. This is from the last DIY. You will see it in almost every single one of these DIYs that I'm showing you this week. And just try a knot, make it a nice loop that it can go onto any branch of a tree or any hook. And there you go, that's it. So they're all unique. They're all got their own little flavor, a little rustic looking, and very bohemian. So I'm just, right now, these are actually right on my desk on the tiny little tree that's there. And I think they're super cute. At first I wasn't quite sure, but now I like them. I will say I like them. So that's it for the DIYs in this video. Make sure that you stay tuned for, I believe Friday is when the next DIY video is going to come out. It is this DIY and then also this cute little DIY. So these also budget friendly, actor budget friendly, super easy, do not take too much time or too much prep time to do. I love them. I'm obsessed with them in my home. I'm really loving all these DIYs. So make sure that you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you over there.